you get to see more of my wrinkles. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're here to do about 30 minutes of a explain of eXp Realty and how the system works for Australian agents. We've been in Australia for about 5 years, so very tested and measured, and worked out what works best for our agents and how our model can absolutely change their lives. As is reported by many of them, certainly not us saying that. You'll see that often mentioned on their socials and things like that. So welcome, Chris.
Thanks, mate. And thanks for joining us, everyone, whether it be live or watching the replay. Hope you're having an absolute flying start to 2025. So we are eXp Realty here in Australia. We're a global organisation. Whilst we started in Australia 5 years ago, we actually commenced this cloud-based tech evolutionary business and model that places agents at the top, and rightfully so, them to be their own bosses, powered by our model. It actually started this journey back in 2009 in the United States by our CEO and founder, Glenn Sanford. Quite a visionary. We were a public listed and traded company in 2013. And around 2018, we became part of the NASDAQ. So you can look us up, folks. You can look up our stock or share code, as we call it here in Australia, EXPI. Fortunately, we're very privileged as industry agents. We all have a stakeholder in this business. So today we're going to talk to you a little bit about the deal and what it means to be a transactional agent, but also, I guess, a few little other pillars that you can tap into if you so choose to build a little bit of wealth outside of the commission-only treadmill for life. We have a few pillars that enable industry agents to transact and keep more of their hard-earned commissions whilst keeping their bottom line quite nimble and cost effective, because we're more about profit and take home over turnover. So we're going to share with you about some numbers, what you can do to compare your current numbers, potentially what you did in 24, and what it might look like in plugging into our model. We're nearing 90,000 agents globally. Currently, we're in 24 countries, but we're opening in three more this year, taking us up to 27 countries in total. And we're here to stay, Tony. We're not going anywhere. We're a multi-billion-dollar company that has no debt. And just again on some numbers, last year alone, $242 million of eXp's global revenue went back out and was paid out to industry transactional agents like Tony and I, who are part of this model, as part of the revenue share program, which we'll talk about in a bit more detail. So Tony, talk to me a little bit about why do agents join eXp and what sort of agents? What's the avatar agent for eXp?
Yeah, look, if there was one, it'd be easy to just talk to you if you were that person. But it really is any agent with some experience, be them on depending on what state you're in, a fully licensed or a starter license or an agent's reps license. I know many people that have joined eXp that have been agents reps for years and years and never did get a full license. There's absolutely no need to. You can join eXp without one. So we have two types of agents: the fully licensed that we call independent contractors, and the Class 2 license, which we call commission-only employees. No restriction to any agent with some experience coming to us. And the model works the same. The costs are the same. The rewards are the same, regardless of what sort of license level you have.
Awesome. So just a little notation on that, folks. We don't offer a retainer. So if you need a debit credit structure, because our model gives so much back out to the industry agents, again, we just spoke about the company has no debt in its business. That's how we're so profitable, and it's how we give more back to the agents. So not probably suitable to somebody who needs that retainer structure as such. But in saying that, again, the commission splits that we offer are far more lucrative than any retainer debit credit structure out in the industry right now. So the way to help commission or cash flow, I guess, is by retaining more of what you are generating at the end of the day. Tony, just on the right agent, whether I sell, I mean, obviously we need some experience because we are governed by the MITA federal laws when we particularly approve a commission-only agent, so somebody who just has the sales rep license. But if I sell, say, 8 homes a year, mate, would eXp, Realty consider me? If I sell 50 homes, if I sell 250 homes, is there any performance metrics that I need to meet to be a member of eXp Realty?
No, definitely not. There's no performance measure or minimum target or anything like that. We have agents that are doing many multiples, 50, 60, 100 homes, things like that per annum. And we have agents that are it's a on the side business, or they might have been retired and still wanting to service a few clients. I spoke to a prospect agent today that is actually in another another job altogether, but has clients that keep coming back from her past life in real estate. So eXp can certainly provide the services that she requires in order to sell what might be only 3 or 5 properties a year. But the sales of those properties can be lucrative for her as an income. And like I said, there's no avatar agent, because there you've got someone that's doing another full-time job versus someone who's doing real estate full-time. So whether you're 25 or 75, we have both in our company, obviously at either ends of careers. So there is no limit to what you can achieve. If it's the minimum you want to achieve, that's completely okay with us. We'll give you the same support, the same training if you need it, the same model that any agent will get.
It's a great point. We have a number of members, and there's a versatile group of our agents that are out there across Australia right now. And we have some agents, Tony, that are high performing, mass production, selling a significant volume of homes every year, and they just plug in, just have our model power their business along. But then we've got lifestyle agents, mums, dads, where they want to be there for school pickup, drop offs, or they want to take a weekend off once a month. So be it fit. All right, let's talk about the offering, mate. So,
Go
sorry, mate.
ahead. No, you're
All right,
right. I was going to mention one quick one.
go on.
We've got agents. There's an agent that I've sold that I think sold in excess of 30 homes, who you probably know pretty well, and he only joined what seems like a few months ago, and he's already
Yes.
settled more than 30 properties in a few months. So, for him the model works, and for someone only selling a few a year, the model works.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got the options come in either licensed independent contractor or as a sales rep. So when you come on board, folks, it's simply a $275, including of GST onboarding fee. So pretty much once you complete your membership agreement to be part of our model, that's what activates all the systems. So we get all your CRMs, all your forms, all your home pass, all your email, all your tech, all your IT. Pretty much that's part of the onboarding 275 joining application, is to get you fully onboarded and embedded into the model. Now we're going to talk about some of our suite of services and the team that we have behind the scenes that support you with that. But as part of onboarding, really the goal there is to make sure that you're match ready to go from day one, because we want the priority for you to be about just getting up and running, prospecting, listing, marketing, and negotiating and transacting, and really relishing from the benefits within the model. Once you've onboarded and you pay the once-off fee of $275, including GST, thereafterwards, you pay a nominal monthly subscription fee of $275, including GST, irrespective of being an independent contractor or a sales rep license. So it's a month-by-month service offering. There's no lock-in contract, fixed terms, and there's absolutely no boundaries or borders or territories or franchise geographical areas that you are restricted to. You can go globally with our model because we're in 24 countries. You can stick to local, or you can take it nationally if you so choose. Just on that though, Tony, so let's talk about real quickly, 275 to bolt your business in, get underway. Intellectual property, just elaborate on that for a little bit, in a bit more detail.
Yeah. So you might have a database that you've built over your time in real estate to this point, and you join eXp, and you want to import that database into our CRM so you can continue to market and work those clients. And you'll build the database as you stay with eXp. Should you ever choose to leave, your database is downloaded and given to you. We don't keep it. Your past sales, reviews, and everything that are on the portals are given to you and passed to wherever you may choose to go to. You might want to open your own shop front. You might have that aspiration in the future. You might want to join a franchise. I don't know. But whatever it is you choose to do, your data, your clients' contact data, past sale data, and everything will come with you. We'll give it to you and we'll delete it. Our client is you, the real estate agent. We're not going to prospect for your buyers and sellers, and we don't pass the data to another one of our agents to work on. It's downloaded, given to you, deleted, and gone. The only record we'll keep is the record of transactions for our auditors and things like that. Record of contracts and receipts. That's about it. That's all we're ever going to keep of yours, should you choose to leave.
Awesome. So when agents move, Tony, when we talk to a lot of them, there's three common denominators that come up probably as the top three why any agent would look to move their entire real estate business as they know it, right? One is cost or investment, right? Whether it's buying in capital-wise to an office, bricks and mortar business, you and I have been there, versus a cloud-based option potentially that's like ours. What's the deal? What's the return I get on the investment that I'm making into this business of mine? So we'll jump into that. And then obviously support and training really often comes up in the top three. I mean, things do change. Everyone's top three is a little bit different, but I'd say 70% of the time, they're probably the top three things people consider before making a move. So we know the investment required to be in our models, $275 monthly subscription ongoingly, no contract terms, no franchise geographical restrictions. Let's talk about the deal. So I spend the $275 a month. What do I get back in return as a transactional
It's a
agent,
little
mate?
bit like we talk to vendors at an appraisal. How much and how much? How much
Correct.
is my house
Boom.
worth? How much are you going to charge
Yep.
me? So here in the
The double
relationship
whammy.
we have with our agents, we just mentioned the 275 a month. That's your outlay. That's your investment for all the tech, and we'll touch on some of the tech and services later. The deal is you will receive 75% of the commission, up to 100,000 of gross commission per annum, and 100% after the 100,000. So there's only one step, 75% up to 100, 100% thereafter. The monthly fee stays the same. If you reach 100,000, as have some of our agents, in 2 months, your commitment of sharing the commission, that 25% to the company, is finished. And for the next 10 months, you'll keep 100% of everything that settles. Can't be any easier and more lucrative than that.
I'm incredibly privileged because in my role, mate, I have the opportunity to ring all our agents when a settlement happens, and finance team notifies me and says, Chris, this agent's capped. They've written $100,000 GCI in their work anniversary year, excluding GST. They capped. They now go from 75% commission split. They give themselves a performance pay increase, essentially, right, by doing the 100,000 GCI. I don't know many models out there that say, hey, if you write $100,000, we're going to increase your commission split within your work anniversary. But just today alone, folks, and I know there's a lot of naysayers out there. There's people that sit on the fence, and there's a lot of scarcity and fear mongering in our industry when it comes time to maybe you looking to make a change, and maybe you spoke to somebody and they don't really know a model. Spoke to a gentleman that you know, Tony, really well in your state, Barry Feldman, today. He capped. He wrote $100,000 in gross commission within about 3.5 months of his work anniversary year. So he's on 100% for the next 9+ months of this work anniversary year of his. Don't take it from us, folks. Pick up the phone, look up Barry Feldman, eXp Realty, eXp Australia Online, call him and ask him, because he's been with us coming up 3 years now, mate, I want to say.
No, he's only been with us 18 months, I reckon.
Two
August
years.
23. August 23. So,
Okay.
you know, he's
Second
it's the
capping year.
most it's the most lucrative model he's ever been in his career. Barry's
Yep.
been in real estate for several decades. He's made more money in the last 18 months than he's made in any 18-month period for the rest of his career. So, you know, and he has a lot of settlements still coming that are sold and waiting to settle, and he's on 100%. So he'll enjoy that until at least August, I think it was.
Yeah,
Spoke to him yesterday
absolutely. So
afternoon.
out of the 24 months thereabouts that he's been with us, he's on a 100% commission about 18 months of those 24-month periods. So life-changing stuff, and that's why we spoke earlier about enjoying life a bit. He went to Bali. He went, I don't know how many holidays. He just got back from the Gold Coast, but
Had a
he's
few.
doing stuff with his kids. He's doing stuff with his kids, which is really cool to see. All right, mate. So we know the investment, we know the deal. Let's talk about systems and support, because that probably falls in part of the top three. Let's start with support, right? So if you're like Barry, myself, we're writing a certain volume of business each and every year, whether it's 20 homes, 30, 40 homes, whether it be in an office environment or online cloud-based like us, you need a certain level of support. Talk to us a little bit about the support we get from listings to contracts to finance to trust accounting and so forth.
Yeah, so you know, everything we do as agents is centered around listing and selling. As soon as we've listed a property, we're going to put all the information in our CRM. Once we're ready to go live, we're going to send it to our listings team. We're going to check everything's there for compliance, etc., and push the property live. It's then up to you to go about doing what you do, and that's sell the property. At the minute you sell the property and you provide the contract to our contracts team, they're going to instruct for you to solicitors or conveyancers. Our trust account team is going to manage the deposit, the receipting of that, the transfers of deposits to solicitors or to vendors at settlement. They'll manage the settlement. They'll manage your pay to you. If you're a licensed agent, you're going to get paid settlement day. If you're a commission-only employee, you're going to get paid every fortnight as to what's settled in that previous fortnight. So it's pretty quick, even if you're a commission-only employee, to get that income. So all of those teams that are involved, contracts, listings, trust account team, as well as our operations team, are all available on our workplace chat system or in our eXp world. So we have a virtual world, and if you were to go in there today, although that HQ version 2 happened today, which is a whole different layout, but you'll find I was just in there half an hour ago speaking with Kirsten, who's our head of operations, and we can have a live chat. The two of us, our two avatars sitting there facing each other. We can share screens. We can exchange documents. We can bring other people into the room. So great place, because as you know, we're all cloud-based. We're all working at home, including our admin team and our support team, all working at home, and everyone in the world. So 90,000 people plus staff all working at home to make the machine of eXp operate, and that it does quite efficiently. So all of that support's available right throughout your work days. You'll find your licensees like Chris and myself and Rob Davis are available, probably 24/7 in a lot of cases, but there'll always be someone that during your work days and evenings that are going to be able to support you. And if it's not one of our support team, the other thing that is amazing about the company, agents will put questions on the workplace chat with our agent groups, and the amount of agents that will then come onto that chat and help them answer their questions, share a link, tell them their advice, their experience, whatever it may be. And it might be an agent, 2 states away that's giving you that help. But the collaboration's incredible, far more collaborative than any experience I've had sitting in an office with colleagues. Because as you know, office full of colleagues, they're in essence, you're a competitor. It's certainly not looked at in that way at all. We're all over Australia and we're all here to help each other and grow our own businesses and grow the company.
What I love about our support as a transactional agent myself, Tony, is that you deal with mums and dads who have been in the industry for 10 plus years, right? These are experienced support people that they just want freedom and autonomy. They didn't want to commute into the office every day. They wanted flexibility to run their wheelhouse, their departments, as we say, and not have somebody looking over their shoulder constantly. And we've had feedback both from our agent members and also our support staff that things happen quicker and our support staff feel more efficient because there's less distractions when you're working from a home office support environment versus an office. The greatest sign of a good business is not only retention of agents, but the retention of support. And I know, Tony, many of our support staff in Australia, and I just want to point out, folks, in all the countries we operate right now, support is employed locally. It's not offshore, it's not outsourced. It is people that are employed in each state. We've got support staff in Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, WA of the likes. But these, we've retained 100% pretty much of all our staff. The ones that are with us right now have been with us since the beginning. So they know how our model ticks and they know what agents partnering with our model need. Also, just point out the other thing that I love as well, mate, is with finance, I don't have to pay any supplier invoices, which is really important. That's soul sucking, paying supplier invoices, because they come in faster than what deals, come in generally in contracts and sales and commissions. Invoices come in faster. So I don't have to pay supplier invoices for signboards, brochure ordering, photography, floor plans, REA, domain of the likes. It goes through our finance account.
Yeah.
And trust accounting's done for us as well. So I no longer need a trust account administrator or sleepless nights worrying about, is anyone tapping into the trust account, because it's all done. We've got trust accounts in each of the states we're opening and operating in. And it's managed by our trust account person through to our licensee, through to global finance as well. So property deposits are receipted on my behalf. Marketing funds are all receipted on my behalf. I don't have to worry about that as I would in a traditional shop front.
Yeah, and as Chris mentioned, all your accounts are paid for you for your photographers or your board company. You may be using some of the photographers that a lot of our agents use, or you might have a favourite one of your own. First time you use them, get them to send the invoice to us. We'll set up an account for them and pay them as soon as they send us the invoice. You don't
Yep.
have to worry about it. So all of that's done for you.
There's no more. Can I use this supplier, Tony? Nope, it's my office. You cannot. Or Tony, can I plug in this little subscription because I'd like to use this tech product? Nope, I pay the bills here. You can't. Folks, 275 will give you everything EXP. If you want to add your own supply, if you want to add your own tech product and solution, you can plug extra stuff in as you see fit. It's your business here. Let's talk about the systems, mate. Now, I'm going to throw this in the mix. I'm going to go from the bottom up so you can start from the top down. So, inclusive in our subscriptions, probably there's probably hundreds of things in this tool belt of ours, but we're just going to dive into the main ones that we use on a daily basis. So when you become part of a member of eXp Realty globally, you get Canva Pro straight away. That's about $280 a year, I think I last paid for my Pro subscription. Don't hold me to that, but I'm saving that straight away. So no longer do I need a graphic designer and spending thousands and thousands of dollars a year. I was just an agent who just joined us recently, Tony, said the environment they come from, anything they wanted the marketing team to design, they had to pay sometimes 35 bucks for basic design, sometimes as much as $70 for a detailed design. It could take 24, 48 hours to get that design. And then the end of the month, it gets lumped on their commission statement, right? So with us, Canva Pro, you no longer need that graphic designer. We're also using HomePass, which again, this agent came from using a CRM system where they were getting charged every SMS they did. With our HomePass application, checking buyers in, doing bulk SMS communication, using incredible, powerful SMS templates, it's included and it doesn't charge you because it goes through your phone carrier. Secure document exchange we use for securely sending documents, obviously, but also for notification of deposit payments. So it comes with $1 million insurance backing because of phishing and cybercrime. So we use a secure platform for that. We have vendor funding options as well. So one of the things that we will be very clear on as part of having no debt in the business, we carry no vendor paid advertising. So the options are either the client does have to pay it up front, or if they can't do it, we get that. Cash flow is challenging in today's expensive world. We have funding options where it can be paid for upfront by the funding company and taken off at settlement from the seller and client. This includes things like being able to stage a home to a full pre-sale makeover. We've even got options there that if there's a rented property, the landlord wants a rental income, but you maybe want to move the tenant on to have a vacant possession, they will actually cover the rent for a period of time in that option. Do you want to jump into the other ones, mate, there?
Yeah, look, reading up the list, REA Forms or Forms Live or whichever subscription, depending on the state. So for your authorities and contracts and documentation, so that's all provided for you. Portals, so things like REA Domain, View, multiple other portals. We have subscriptions within each state. And then the two biggies, RP data for your data. So CoreLogic provide RP data and RP proposals for us. So all of the past sale data, doing reports for your vendors, for market updates, anything like that, all of that data is available in RP data. And then the CRM. So we have CRM, currently Agent Box we're using to contain all your client data, your property listings, transaction information. So, some CRM programs are as much as our monthly subscription just for that alone. So there was
Yeah, I
one
don't think
I
you get
know
much
that was
change out of
pretty much
$250 from RP
$250
data
just to
these
have your
days.
single account for a single agent just for
Yeah.
CRM, which we provide our whole service and the whole model for that same amount of money. So all of those things, as well as there's a lot of technology around. And a lot that, things like ChatGPT and Gamma app and other things that aren't real estate specific. A lot of them are online, they're free apps. Whilst you can just go and use these things, the one thing we do when we find something that's giving our agents a point of difference or saving them time, we'll go research it, do training on it for our agents, show them how to use it specifically for real estate, show them how to improve the use of that particular tool. So there's quite a lot of those types of things that we are helping agents use so that they can become better at what they do, more efficient. So all of those subscription tools, all of those tools are available as part of our subscription. They're continually trained on and supported by our internal support team. So anything you have a glitch or a problem with a bit of tech, as we inevitably all do from time to time, there's someone there to support you. If it's something that's getting past the tech level of some of our support team, there's a global IT department that you can just jump on and have someone. I have them, jump in the computer and do a live inspection, look at whatever my problem may be. They're there to do that. So you're not on your own. You don't have to grab your laptop and head off down to the local computer store and leave it with him for a day while he tries to figure out your problem. There's people that are live that will help you straight away.
Cool. All right, moving on to transaction fee, settlement fee, or administration fee, as some offices call it. So where eXp makes its revenue is through three pillars globally. One is through the agent subscription that you and I pay. Secondly is the $25,000 that it retains for the first $100,000 in gross commission income that each agent writes within their work anniversary year. And the last revenue stream is a $550, including GST, file transaction settlement fee. Now, this only applies should the property actually settle. If it's withdrawn and it doesn't sell for whatever reason, the vendor or seller does not have to pay that. Now, you have the option. You can pass that off to the vendor in full. Again, it's your business here. Use discretion, or as many of our agents do across the country and in many of the states we operate in, they pass it on to the vendor, or you can take it on yourself if it's maybe the difference of you winning the listing or not. You can use full discretion here. It's not like, the principal saying you must get it on every listing. It's your call. You can pass it on or you can wear it yourself if you wish. Let's talk about marketing, because that's massive for any agent. What sort of freedom do I have with marketing, Tony? Like, I know I came from an environment, you came from an environment where we're told how big the logo can be, where you can have a mug shot of your own on the board or not one at all from your recollection of what you told me. And, there's all these little nuances in certain offices and brands, what your marketing you must conform with. Tell me a little bit about eXp's marketing
Well,
vision.
I speak to people about that there really is no rules, but there's rules if you know what I mean. So no rules in that you can use whatever marketing channel you choose, whatever tools and things that are appropriate for your market in your area. And you can invest as heavily as you choose to in marketing. And we've got agents who have, REA banners that they've bought and things like that. You don't need approval from
Carousels.
us to buy, carousel banners and things like that. You can have photos of yourself on the board. You can create your own DL flyers. All we ask is you use the logo. You don't change the logo into something that it isn't. That's really the only rule. eXp Realty, as you can see on my shirt here, looks like that. So it's not capital letters, it's lowercase, things like that.
Yep.
We have tons and tons of brand folders with logos, colors, fonts, all of those things, templates for listing presentations, templates for deal cards. It's never ending, the resources that are available, all in Canva Pro now. So you can take something that someone else has created in the company, could be someone overseas, tweak it a bit so that it looks like you, put your own photo and your contact details in, and off you go. So there's really, no rule to what you're able to do, and there's no limit to how much you can market yourself. We don't control that. We don't suggest what you should or shouldn't do.
Cool. And just on that, you can use the eXp Realty brand if you're an independent contractor like myself. Obviously, if you have your own brand, you can bring that with you too to us. We'll just basically plug your brand in and then take care of all the back end, whether it be subscriptions, support, payroll, tax, and all the good stuff that comes with having staff that comes with all of that. You absolutely want to be clear, can bring and have your own brand if you've got the right license requirements. All right, mate. So that's a little bit about the deal, the investment, the support. We've gone through what's included in systems as well. Let's talk a little bit about the other avenues outside of the deal, I guess, as to how we can create revenue within eXp Realty. So the first one I want to touch on is what we call the eXp Realty Global Revenue Share Program. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this live session or recording if you're watching it, the playback. 242 million last year alone went back out to eXp Realty agents. And the reason is you have the option, if you wish to, you can tap into a passive income opportunity where eXp shares its top line revenue share. It's not a dividend, it's not part of profit share, it's part of the total revenue that the company generates. So I've opted to tap into that because it's a legacy thing for your children, your wife, it's transferable. But essentially the way it works and the way I explain it quite simplistically in a session like this, and again, if you want to explore this space in more detail and get really into the nitty gritty nuts and bolts of it, we have 7 levels. And this is a great opportunity if you're a team leader, you want to build an organization, but you don't want the big payroll tax bill that comes with it. You want to have people around you essentially just to collaborate with more so than to be their boss. The revenue share program is an incredible incentive and opportunity for that. So I want you to think of it a bit like a broker. A mortgage broker is the way I explain it, in that when they set up a loan and a mortgage, when that deal settles, they get the upfront commission from the lender, and then they get an ongoing trail for the life of that loan being in existence. The eXp revenue share program is much the same. So instead of our revenue being distributed out to franchisees, franchisors, and upwards into the CEOs, 50% of the entire company's revenue that's generated globally gets redistributed out in 2 ways. One is through the revenue share program, and then there's the Icon program, which we'll touch on in a moment. Now, for me, it's been a wonderful opportunity to help me not just be on the commission-only treadmill for life, but to actually give me something that's tangible. It's paid by XP on the 21st of each and every month. And like I said, it's really just for helping attract agents into the model and helping them find success within their own businesses, but also upholding our cultural requirements and our core values as well. So if you want to explore that in a bit more detail, if that's you, because we have agents in our model, but we have attractors too, Tony, which is a good point, right? We have mums and dads that have listed for many, many years. They no longer need to because they've tapped into the revenue share program because it's earning them and generating them more monthly than what they were earning commissions. And all they solely do now is they attract agents into our model and help them find success within the model. The Icon program, mate, let's talk a little bit about that. So we spoke about the revenue share, but the other 50% of revenue that goes back out to members and agents and attractors in the organization is through the Icon Award. So the Icon Award is essentially an award based on performance and production. So there's a couple of ways that you can qualify as an Icon agent. Now, we would say this is what our top 2-3% award of agents that come into the model.
3 or 4% of our total agent numbers, yes.
Yeah, about 4%. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this session, EXPI stock code. This is where we as agents have buy-in to that stock code. So I've been incredibly fortunate. I've qualified 3 times as an Icon agent since being here in 2019. And eXp Realty has gifted me back shares, equity, and ownership into the model for reaching this level of criteria. Now, there's other ways you can earn shares as well, between $300 and $600 per share when you introduce somebody to the eXp Realty network. Should you become a capping agent, you get shares off the back of that. If the person you introduce to eXp Realty caps and keeps 100% of their commissions, you get remunerated in stock, equity ownership on that as well. But in relation to the Icon program, which is the most lucrative share ownership program that I'm aware of in our industry, Tony, and I went through many quarterly awards where I was gifted many trophies and certificates over the life of my career that I no longer have.
Wasn't a lot of $100 notes attached.
Yeah, that's right. There's
Never.
essentially, yeah, that's right. So this is actually tangible. Now, with the shares, this isn't finance advice, so that little disclosure, it is managed in an Octa account, which is overseen by Morgan and Stanley as the financial auditor. Obviously, being a public listed and traded company, we do have shareholder obligations and commitments there. But to qualify as an Icon agent, there's 2 options that you can come in as an Icon agent. The first option is that you have to have paid $25,000 to eXp in the $100,000 that you write to then cap and keep 100% afterwards. So if you write $100,000 in your work anniversary year, GCI, you're that capped agent. So that's one qualifier. Then what you need to do is you need to achieve $10,000 in transaction fees post becoming a cap agent that keeps 100%. So in essence, that's 20 transactions. So if you're an agent who does, let's say, 10 transactions at $10,000, Tony, that's your $100,000 in GCI. You're now a capped agent, okay? So you keep 100% of your commissions. If you then post capping and doing those 10 transactions at $10,000, do another 20 settlements that pay the transaction fee of $550 per transaction, totaling $10,000 in transactions, that then qualifies you as an icon agent. So really, mate, the nuts and bolts there is if you're doing 30 sales and settlements a year, you can qualify through this option as an icon agent. The
So
second option,
very simply, cap plus 20 sales. That's basically the
on.
first way to achieve it. And the second
Spot
option?
on. Should have had you explain it, mate. You would have saved about 3 minutes then.
Give us the second option.
The second option's the same. You still got to pay the cap, okay? And then you've got to do $750,000 in gross commission minimum over a minimum of 10 closed transactions post-capping, okay? So they're the two ways, guys. Now, what happens if I qualify as an icon agent? Well, firstly,
go
you
ahead.
go, mate. Jump in. No. You're probably going to save me 2 minutes here. You go.
So firstly, you get $15,000 of shares gifted to you.
Yes.
So all icon agents, like Chris said, the shares are gifted to you to the value of $15,000. They're yours. There's then a further $6,000 of shares that are given to you that you qualify for by participating in our training programs. And by participating, I mean that you're a guest speaker. I think it's 4 or 5 times a year. You're invited to be a guest. You could be one of 3 or 4 people that's a guest for a 30-minute or so training program where you'll be just sharing what's working for you in your market. It's basically a cultural participation in assisting your fellow eXp members in improving their business by sharing what works for you. How did you become an icon agent? So an extra $6,000 in shares come your way if you participate in that. So in total, $21,000 comes back to you as an icon agent. When you consider you paid $25,000, now you're only out of pocket $4,000. So this can be, this model can really, for some people, be quite cost effective, almost nothing. And, when you consider the other shares you'll get for capping, the other rewards you may get for revenue share of those that you brought into the company, you could actually be working for no fees. And we have agents that are in that world.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at the numbers holistically, Tony, and just on that point, as much as we're a growth and attraction model, and our big goal is to get to 1 million agents globally over the next 10 years, we're as heavily focused in attraction growth as we are retention. So as part of that retention, if you get the $15,000 icon shares gifted and granted back to you, there is a 3-year vesting period, right? Because we want you here for a long time. We want you to build genuine wealth outside of commissions with our model. So that comes with a 3-year vesting period. Then of the $6,000 out of the total 21,000 in stocks and shares, 3,000 of that has a 2-year vesting period as part of the cultural requirements. The other $3,000 though is available immediately. And with these shares, you can do as you see fit. A bit like superannuation, things fluctuate as the share market does. It's no different here, but you can buy, sell, and trade shares within the model because now you have equity and ownership in something. So for me, it's been incredible. 3-time icon agent. And it's chasing my super down that I've been contributing towards my super fund for the last 25 years in employment. My share portfolio is almost over halfway of my super fund valuation. So really cool stuff there. Lastly, we'll wrap up in a few minutes, mate. But eXp Realty Luxury, yes, we do have a luxury arm to our business that can elevate your luxury business from not just being local, but nationally and globally. We have access to over 50 global publications that you can launch your luxury arm of your business onto as well. We are partnered with Regis offices globally. So if you need the office environment to meet with a client, or you just want a business setting to do some work in any of the 24, soon to be 27 countries in 2025 that we're open and operative in, if there's a Regis office there, guess what? You can plug in at free cost and go use the Regis Business HubSpot location and work as you see fit. What else is there, mate?
Well,
Well,
one
we come.
last thing. We've
Yes,
said last thing
yes,
about 5 times. Here's the last thing.
yeah,
Training. So if you'd
yeah.
like to participate in training, we hold training sessions every week. We cover whatever's the latest thing in the industry that we may need to look into compliance-wise or whatever, but also just what works in prospecting, what works in customer relations, things like that. So there's a lot of training available. There are dozens of recorded videos on our YouTube channel, many of which are public, and many of which are available to our agents that are more technical training on a private playlist. But plenty of training if that's what you're looking for, plenty of support, and lots of collaboration. But work from home, work your own hours, no one looking over your shoulder, no expectations. It's your business to do with what you choose.
And all that we ask, if something has resonated or connected with you from this session, pick up the phone, ring our agents across the country, find out what it's doing from them, hear from them. If there's an agent who's pointed to you to this session, make sure you go back to them. If it's prompted any additional questions, go back to that person, because we do have what we call, I guess, a fiduciary obligation to everybody we bring into the network. You must choose a sponsor. That's part of the alignment, and that sponsor's there to collaborate with you, to help you to find success in your business and this model. Just to be clear again, they're not there to be your boss. So Tony has a sponsor as part of coming into eXp Realty. I have a sponsor as coming into eXp Realty, and that is what is the foundations of all this collaboration. Because anybody I bring in or Tony brings in, we help them. We don't just talk it. We've got to walk it in everything we've spoken about in this session today. But lastly, we will link in our training channels and we'll just open the doors up so you can have a look. But again, I'll just revert back to the beginning. Well, there's generally 3 reasons why somebody moves their business and their real estate career as they know it. Find out what your 3 reasons are. Let us know, and then we could plug into the system what might suit you and what's most important to you as part of any potential decision. Mate, another awesome session. Thanks for your time. 2025, we're cracking along. Here we go. Thanks, folks.
See you
Have a
later.
great day.
Bye.
Cheers.